Hi, I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel, and today we're going to be installing a wicked wheel on our 2001 Ford Excursion 7.3 Powerstroke. Even if you don't own a 7.3, if you're just a diesel owner, you've probably heard the words wicked wheel. The 7.3 Powerstrokes, the turbo that are on these trucks, are very, very inefficient. Such has been the birth of lots and lots of aftermarket products to try to combat that. One of them, and our best seller, has been the DieselSite wicked wheel. The WW38 for the 99.5 to 2003 7.3 Powerstrokes is one of the best sellers in upgraded compressor wheels that we offer at Thoroughbred Diesel. Been selling them a long time, and honestly it's probably something that's kind of gone unnoticed with us, even though we sell gobs of them. Adam and I were kind of planning out videos for the next couple of months, and we had pitched the idea of doing a wicked wheel video, and of all we've sold, we've never even installed one and showed you what this does. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be showing you the turbo, the stock 7.3 turbo out on the bench. We'll be talking about some functionality of the turbo. Then we're going to be installing the wicked wheel of it. In this video, we're going to give you baseline dyno numbers on this truck, and then we're going to give you finished dyno numbers on the truck after the wicked wheel has been installed. Going to take you on a test drive, talk to you about a little bit of drivability after the wicked wheel installation. So a couple of different things going on inside of this video. Now, a little bit about this truck. 01 Excursion, you've seen this in a few of our videos. This is our grocery getter that we've got here at the shop. It's going to be around for a little while. We're going to do lots of videos on this 7.3 within this truck. Right now, as far as the modification list goes for this truck, this is a bone stock truck, but I do have an SCT 7015 tuner in the Excursion, and it is set on the performance setting. So my suggestion to you, if you're a wicked wheel customer, you're looking to do this, it's nice to have tuning inside the truck, whatever it may be. A little bit of tuning is really going to help you take full advantage of all of the advantages that the wicked wheel is going to give you in your turbo. So truck is tuned. We're going to give you our baseline numbers right now, then we're going to show you how to install your wicked wheel. Side note, we're going to link you to removal of a stock 7.3 turbocharger inside of this video as well. That will, if you guys are in a position that you don't know how to do this, that video will show you how to remove the turbo, get the turbo back on the truck. Go ahead and do it. Go on. Looks like our number is going to be 275 horsepower and about 600 foot-pounds of torque. These are corrected numbers. Our uncorrected stuff is 258 and then about 560 foot-pounds of torque. Let's look at the trace here. Get a little separation going. So we're having our peak torque and horsepower right at about 56 miles an hour here. Looks good. That's a pretty good curve. So remember that, and then we're going to compare it to a wicked wheel. All right, it's time to install our wicked wheel onto our late model 7.3 turbocharger. And what we want to do is we want to talk to you just a little bit about this for your stock 99.5 to 2003. The part number is going to be the wicked wheel 38. This actually works for the OBS model trucks as well. All the wheel is the same. However, you're going to have differences on what I'm about to talk to you about, and that's the mounting kit. We definitely suggest when you're doing this install, you can pull this turbo as just the turbo itself, leave the pedestal in the truck. If it's not leaking, you're okay. The pedestal is going to be leaking, they all leak. We definitely suggest at this time to go ahead and purchase this kit. We are offering this as a combo as well with Wicked Wheel 38. This is the genuine Garrett installation kit for the 99.5 to 02 trucks. This kit is going to come with the bolts and all of the O-rings that you're going to need. Now, DieselSite does a really good job. They send you the O-rings between the turbo and the pedestal, so that's a good, you know, they do a really good job in that. If this is all you need, then you guys are okay. This comes with your Wicked Wheel purchase. However, we suggest for you to pull off your pedestal, clean it up, check it, and reseal it between it and the block. This kit is going to allow you to do that. All right, now let's go ahead and get started with our installation of our Wicked Wheel. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you pull the rod for the wastegate, and I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to try to zoom in here. All right, move it back. On your wastegate right here, you can see there's a C-clip. I've already dislodged this one, ready to come off. When you take the C-clip off, what you can do is you just take the rod and move it straight up. Don't take it too far off there. Don't be pulling it, you know, up and down too awful much, because you hurt the diaphragm inside of there on the wastegate. So that's your first step, because the cover is going to be what comes off first. So let me zoom back out here. All right, so now it's time to take the cover off. So again, we want to try to clean up around the cover real quick, and we want to make sure that everything, you know, we're not going to have any contaminants that get down inside this. We want to try to have as clean a working surface as we can. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to pull this cover. Now, before we do this, this is not a have to, but I suggest to do this because it's easier. First off, if you're working with the turbo down on the face of it, watch for this nipple right here. What I like to do is try to get a block or something to put the turbo on, which makes it a whole lot easier. But for right now, I just want to talk to you about the EB valve. You do not have to pull the wheel off of here. You're going to have to hold the turbine wheel. So it's kind of a far reach back in there to get to it. What you can do is you can use a leather glove, something that's not going to come apart on you, stick it down in there and hold that wheel and zip it off. If you don't want to, a lot of people have trouble with these bolts. I like to just go ahead and zip them off. I've done that here. I've already loosened these up. These are 8 metric 12-point covers for the EB valve cover. So we're going to go ahead and zip that off real quick. Again, don't let this fool you that I'm taking this apart these bolts off real easy. They're on the back side of these turbos, so they're going to have a lot of heat to them, so they're not going to be the easiest to get off. I just use a ratchet, good 12-point socket that's not beat up, because you don't want to take a chance on rounding anything out. But I pulled that off of there just to give me better access to the turbine wheel. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it off and set it aside. Now we can flip our turbo back over. Before you do that, you want to watch this wastegate. Make sure it doesn't flop over on you and get bent. So you're good to go there. All right, I'm gonna set this aside. Clean up my working surface here. There it is. All right. Now it's time to pull the cover. Go ahead and I'm gonna pull down in on that just a little bit. The cover has got 5 12-point 8 metric bolts as well, so we'll go ahead and zip them off. Now this cover will be suctioned to the housing as well. What you're going to want to do on that is you're just going to want to tap on the outlet of it like this. Just use the palm of your hand, tap on the outlet of it. Eventually it'll pop right loose and you're good to go there. Now when I take it off, I try to sit it upside down. If you're worried about orientation on it, this can really only go one way. You can mark your orientation on the housing, which I've done right here. You can mark your orientation on the housing, and that'll let you know for 100% certainty how it needs to go back. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and pull our housing. Be very careful if you want to try to keep your wheel for any reason. All right, before I pull this, I'm going to take a rag and just kind of clean this up just a little bit. Use a little bit of brake clean there. There's some scaling that's always inside of this, on this compressor cover. I worry about that scaling. It's kind of like a porosity, I guess. I try to get as much of that out of the way of this when I'm pulling the compressor wheel off. Just like to clean up just a little bit around here, so I've got a good clean surface. And what I'll do before I put before I pull that wheel is I'll actually grab myself some compressed air and I will blow this off. So I'm going to do that real quick and be right back. All right, had to cut away there just for a minute because I had forgotten to turn my air compressor on today. So go ahead and blow everything out there. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull our stock wheel. So the stock wheel comes off with a 5/8 6-point socket. To pull this, what I like to do, being very conscious of the wheel here, I'll take a leather glove, and again, with our back side open here, we can just get our hands right on the turbo wheel like that. I'll put a couple of fingers on it. It doesn't take much. Good leather gloves, don't tear your hand up. Just use common sense here. These are right hand threaded, meaning you turn it to the left to loosen the wheel. If you're watching this video on anything else, make sure you study and make sure what your direction of your wheels. Some of the wheels are left hand threaded. This one in particular is right hand threaded, so we're going to be left to loosen. I used an impact to take that off. I like to do that on the wheels coming off. Never use an impact to reinstall your Wicked wheel. Never use an impact to reinstall the Wicked wheel. All right, so we're going to go ahead and run her off there. I'm going to set that to one side, and we're going to get our really nice, super bling Wicked wheel out here. This comes packaged very well. I've already gotten it ready for our install. Ooh, that's nice. They do a really good job with these. So much lighter. You can tell by the profile, a lot more aggressive air profile, a lot more aggressive blade profile that you have between your stock one and the Wicked wheel one, the stock Wicked wheel, stock Wicked wheel. Much lighter, so you're going to have a lot quicker spool up with this wheel. You can just tell in your hand it's lighter than the cast wheel. This is all billet aluminum, so really nice piece. We're going to go ahead and install that now. These are balanced, so when this goes back onto the turbo, you'll have a balanced assembly just because this is balanced. So when I'm tightening these down, now we're going to have a size change here on sockets. We're going to be going over to a metric socket here. This is actually a 13 metric that the Wicked wheel takes. We just snug this down because this thing is going to tighten itself with every pulse of the turbo. Move all my stuff here, so you don't have to worry about a torque spec here. So we're just going to tighten this down. I just get my glove back on the turbo wheel here, and we want to tighten until this seats itself. Don't have to torque it, just make sure that it's seated and it looks like it's flush with the backing plate there. It's not exactly flush when it's all the way down, but you'll know when it's all the way down. So check it for binding. We don't have any binding, so we're good to go there. All right, time to go ahead and put our cover back on. Just for safety's sake, I'm going to take my cover and just hit it with a little bit of compressed air to make sure there's no contaminants in there. Gonna hit my plate again one more time. Now we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our cover. Again, remember there's only one way it can go, but marking will help you to orient it. Be very aware of the new wheel. Don't set the cover down on the new wheel and bend any of the blades. You just want it to go on and go straight. Make sure that you're not making contact with your wastegate lever there before you start working to seat this. I'll just take the palm of my hand, kind of work to seat it there. I don't like to draw it down with my bolts. I like to try to seat it as best I can. So it looks good here. I'm going to switch to a torque ratchet now. I think we take these to right at 189 foot-pounds. Not a super critical torque, but need to be aware of it anyway. And I like to torque these in a crisscross pattern so I know that I'm getting a good seal here, because this seal is very important. I like to take my hand in there again, make sure my wheel's free spinning, I don't have anything silly going on. Now we'll torque everything down. Said about 189 inch-pounds is what we take them to. Frame there just a little bit. Okay. Going in a crisscross pattern, make sure everything gets pulled down even. All right. Now, time to put our back piece on here. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the turbo over. I like to use a piece of wood here when I'm doing my EB valve. What that keeps me from doing is digging in this nipple that's on the turbo, on the wastegate, because you don't want to bend that. If you bend it, it's just kind of one of those things that just kind of kicks your butt. So, all right. Now we're going to go ahead and stick our EB plate back on. Clean this out real good. Check this for sticking. I'm not going to do that on this one here because I'm going to be replacing this with a high flow EB valve, but I just want to show you basically putting this back on the charger for sure. So we're going to go ahead and line it back up here. Put it on. Same torque spec on this. All your bolts in. 189 inch-pounds will do just fine on that. And then the final step of the equation, the final step of the install, is to reinstall our wastegate rod here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that. All right, on our wastegate rod, all we need to do is just pull backwards on it just a little bit, grab our little C-clip that we have there, missed it, oh. And then reinstall our C-clip right here. We can use a pair of needle nose pliers to do that. That's what I like to use. So I'll grab the top of the C-clip and then grab the standard that it's going to. It should engage just like that. And there we go. We have an installed Wicked Wheel on our 2001 Ford Excursion with the cover down. The first thing you want to do is you want to grab the wheel and make sure it's turning freely, because if you do not get it seated correctly, you will have binding with the Wicked Wheel to the cover. So looks like we're good there. We're ready to reinstall it in the truck and see what kind of dyno numbers we get. Here we go, guys. See what we get out of the Wicked Wheel on our 7.3. We're looking to beat 258 uncorrected. About 562 foot-pounds torque. You good, Jimmy? All right. Go. Oh. uncorrected, 571 uncorrected. So we almost gained, over, what, 15 horsepower there? Is that right?
Even more on weather correction.
Yep. So uncorrected, or corrected, we made 301.9 and 633. So let's look at the trace. Just about the same graph here. I don't know why that turned out like it did. So let's raise this up to 450. So we get a separation between it and the torque scale. Torque scale is 700. So there's our torque curve here. Let's see if I can add another line run in here. Make the simulation. Greg. Which one was that? I don't know where that was. But yeah, let me give me just a second here. Let me get a simulation. I'll add in our other one. But yes, we have officially made more power with our Wicked Wheel installed in the truck. All right, so to be able to show you the trace here, sorry, I had to get the other channel pulled up. I had to find the first run. So our original run was 258 horsepower uncorrected and 562 foot-pounds of torque uncorrected. Adam's coming in. That's this run here, these two runs here. Our second run netted us, I'm actually not going to be able to do that, Adam. Our second run netted us, say that takes that channel out. Nope, left it in there. Our second run netted us 272 horsepower uncorrected and 571 foot-pounds of torque uncorrected. So we got about a 14 horsepower gain with the Wicked Wheel. Corrected is 301 horsepower, 633 horsepower. So here's your graph showing you the trace of what we got. Lower number obviously is before the Wicked Wheel, higher number is after the Wicked Wheel. These are the corrected numbers on here as well. But we did manage to tack on another 14 horsepower in this truck right at its peak right here, just north of 56 mile an hour. This is going to be 4R100 transmission, obviously with overdrive off, so third gear, 1-to-1. So it's cool. It's sometimes things like this kind of go, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it other than it's just something that we're comfortable selling. In the Wicked Wheel we sell lots of, and it was just kind of cool to get out here on the dyno today and prove that this actually is going to be a horsepower advancement for your truck. So this is our ride along video for our Wicked Wheel install on our 7.3 Excursion. You know, one thing that I like about the Wicked Wheel right off of the bat was the responsiveness of the throttle. I think the truck comes up on boost much quicker with the Wicked Wheel install. It's a lighter wheel, so, and you can tell that with the truck on at idle. At idle and park with no load on the engine, you romp down on the throttle, you can just tell it's very crisp to come up on boost. You can hear the turbo. As far as drivability goes, it's snappier on the throttle, a lot more responsive. Where the truck makes its best power, you can feel that added horsepower that we have from the Wicked Wheel. It's made the driving experience a lot better. On the Excursions, they're heavy already right out of the gate, so this was a perfect complement to the Excursion with the tuning to just get that much more out of the tuning that we've got on the truck. So yeah, Wicked Wheel 38, we've been selling them forever. You know, it's just one of those things that you sell on a daily basis and you just kind of forget about. But for you 7.3 guys, or for anybody with a stock turbo, if you're wanting just a little bit of an upgrade and your turbo is in good shape, I definitely suggest that you look into the Wicked Wheel from DieselSite. So I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel. This has been a Wicked Wheel install on a 7.3. We thank you all for watching. If you've got any questions, you can hit us up in the comments. We'll be glad to answer them. We appreciate you watching our videos, and if we can do anything for you or you have any questions, just give us a call. Thank you for watching.